Hey YouTube, this is PokéCastXVll here, and today we're going to be looking at a deck that's been getting quite a bit of attention recently in Yveltal Garbodor. The Dark archetype is one that's been around for a while, and yet with every passing format, keeps finding a way to perform all the way to the top of the tables. So let's go into a breakdown as to how the deck functions. The deck's main attacker is Yveltal EX. Yveltal has two attacks, Yveltal, which deals 20 damage, and 20 more for each energy attached to both the active and defending Pokemon. Considering DCEs count as 2 and feature a fair bit in the format, you can rack up some pretty big numbers with Yveltal. The second attack is Y Cyclone, which deals a very solid 90 damage and allows you to move an energy from your active Pokemon to one of your bench. With a pretty solid 170 HP made stronger with the use of Fighting Fury Belt, Yveltal can be quite a tank to try and take down. Most players do run the Yveltal with Fright Knight as a great way of disrupting your opponents with tools such as Floatstone, which is quite prominent within the format. It's also a great way of disrupting your opponent's Fighting Fury Belts, not forgetting that Pitch Black Spear is a pretty decent attack in itself, and one that allows you to soften up big EXs and take cheap KOs on your opponent's Shaman EXs on the bench. The other side of the deck comes in Garbodor, which was reprinted in Breakpoint. Garbodor, when it has a tool attached, prevents all abilities from working excluding itself. This does wonders against decks like Volcanion EX and Greninja, as they both heavily rely on abilities. Of course, Floatstone is the perfect tool for Garbodor since Garbodor does have a really hefty retreat cost. As for the rest of the deck, you have Max Elixir, which kind of functions in a very similar way to which Dark Patch used to as your main form of energy acceleration. Post that, you have Enhanced Hammer, which is starting to see more play, and then staples like Ultra Ball, Trainer's Mail and VS Seeker. As for your supporters, you do have the standard Sycamores and Ents, but having the 4 VS Seekers allows you to play a lot of one-offs. Some examples include Delinquent, which is great in the Parallel City War, Olympia as a means of switching when you need to, and Team Flare Grunt for extra disruption against things like Jolteon EX, which hits Yveltal for weakness. And lastly, for the stadiums, you do have a few options, however Parallel City is usually the one to go to. With no form of Cassius or AZ in the format, your only other means of getting Shaman EX off the bench is if you attach a double Colorless Energy to it and use Sky Return, which is where Parallel City becomes extremely useful. And with all that said, here is a list to get you started. The list adds up to 55 cards, which does give you a bit of room for innovation. You could bump up your tools to 3 of each if you choose to, or even add a single Darkness Energy or 2 in there. Again, you have room for one-off supporters, and with the additional space, it gives you room to add them in. And finally, you could also play alternate attackers such as Yveltal with Oblivion Wing, or even try out things like Yveltal Break and Darkrai EX if you are worried about the weakness. And so there you pretty much have it. That is Yveltal all concluded for you. This was a short and informative video, but if you did like this and you would like to see more Pokemon related content, all you have to do is click the annotations at the end of this video. Alternatively, you can subscribe or even like the Facebook page if you would like to keep posted with future uploads. All the annotations will be found at the end of the video. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.